Now, to start off, I'll only be talking about how far the show has gotten and not the comics in case anybody hasn't read it. Angstrom's plan was basically to become a genius by absorbing the knowledge from his alternative selves to solve world problems like world hunger and solving cancer, good things like that. He was a good guy at first. But things went south when Mark showed up during this process. All he saw was this big machine and the Muller twins, so he didn't ask any questions and just started going for it. And basically, Angstrom was trying to sit here and explain to him, like, wait, don't do this, I'm trying to do this. And Mark was not listening, so he went and sent alternate versions of the Muller twins. And I'm not gonna lie, they were kind of fucking his ass up for a little bit. I don't know if he's vincible or invincible. And since Mark came in and was messing up his whole plan, he had to take off his helmet early, which caused a fucking explosion, killed all the alternative versions of himself and the twins except for one of them because they come back later.
Again?
This left Angstrom really fucked up, and I mean really fucked up. Look at his fucking head. Why? Look how lumpy it is. It's nasty. He's got more wrinkles in it than a ball sack. With the machine being destroyed, it caused all of the memories from all the other alternative versions of himself to go into his head. So now, all of those memories are mixed up, and with those alternate universes means that there are alternate versions of Mark. And let me tell you, not a single one of them is good. So, Angstrom, being the weird nigga that he is, decides to target the only good Mark. He breaks into Mark's house, takes Debbie and Oliver hostage. Oliver is, by the way, 3 months old at this point. 3 months! And he's gripping the out of her hair, damn near almost pulling this shit off while he's sitting here monologuing to Mark about how he ruined him. And Mark is just sitting here like, what the are you talking about? Because, let me remind you, this is the only good Mark that hasn't done anything to him. So, Angstrom has his dirty, filthy ass hands around Debbie, threatening to kill them. Mark charges, but Angstrom keeps spamming the same move and putting him through different universes. Debbie realizes that Mark isn't doing shit and he's just getting thrown through every single other universe.
This nigga is trash.
She tries to fight back. She tried to fight back multiple times. She got pimp slapped, choke slammed, and then finally she got her arm broken. And he was sitting here swinging Oliver around like a ragdoll. Angstrom decides that he's had enough and wants Mark to come back. So he opens up the portal, but this time he doesn't come through immediately. So when Angstrom pops his head in to come and check why isn't he coming through, that's when he gets him and he punches the shit out of him. And I'm not gonna lie, Mark was kind of beating, Angstrom's ass for about 2 seconds because bro got rebuilt with some power-ups. So Angstrom is sitting here spamming the same move, Angstrom starts getting cocky and he's sitting here, after I'm done with yo, I'm gonna go back and slime out your mama and that little purple shit. Mark loses it and starts to let out some of that Viltrumite side until bro's head looks like mashed potatoes. Plot twist, he somehow survived and got rebuilt again. Skip to the Invincible War. And we got all the other variants. And he basically told them, go up his world. And yes, that does include the nigga that killed his son and shorty. They hit the White House. They hit the Pentagon. They hit the Empire State Building. They hit Tokyo. They hit every other single major place in the world. And that also includes some of the prisons. So all the people that were locked up, whether it was for robbery or assault, they are all running around as well. And also they did attack the Guardians of the Globe, but their ass. And no one really cares about them. And sadly, we lost my boy Rex. At first, I didn't like him when he showed up, but he started to grow on me. And then, when he started to grow and have character and become a better person, they f***ing kill him off.
And what's that?
My entire goddamn skeleton, dickhead.
And finally, the good Mark comes in confused because, he thought he killed Angstrom. He starts spamming the same move over and over and over again. It's like playing against somebody that only knows how to do one move in Mortal Kombat. And on top of that, he's talking shit but Mark is hesitating. I'm not gonna lie, if I was in his position, I am not gonna let a nigga with a up lumpy ass space princess, whatever the fuck. I am not gonna let a lumpy headed ass nigga talk shit to me for some god awful reason and let Angstrom get away again. Mark goes, grabs his arm through the portal and tries to pull him back out, but Angstrom closed it in time and only got his arm cut off. He got away, and it's not over yet because there's more in the comics, but we're gonna leave it right there. And last but not least, Dio, the generational hate, the king of hating ass niggas. Yes, I stole that line from C-Day the Champ because he describes it best. We're gonna do a lightning round for his early life in Phantom Blood. So, he was born in London, hated his drunk dad, poisoned him, and then moved on to the Joestar's mansion. Basically, he was faking being a nice guy while, kind of tormenting Jonathan and stuff like that. Kissed Irina to be petty. He burned Danny in the furnace, and dear God, it is way worse in the manga. And then he had to kind of rethink his entire little evil plan because Jonathan started catching on that something was going on. I mean, he killed his dog. He was the only one that noticed that Dio did that. Dio's been playing nice this entire time, and then finally gets to the point where he poisons George, aka Jonathan's dad. And then, after reading a letter, Jonathan finds out that that's the exact same thing that happened to Dio's dad. So, he poisoned him with the exact same thing. And then he leaves to go find the antidote. But before he does, he tells his father to not take any medicine from Dio, and only take medicine from, the butlers that are in their mansion. Dio, being pressed now that Jonathan figured out his whole thing, he tries to kill him with the stone mask. But before he does that, he tests it out on a random drunk dude in the middle of the street. He stabs him, and the blood activates the mask, turns the guy into a vampire.
You're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm gonna kill.
Dio almost dies, but that top of the morning saved his ass. Jonathan comes back with Speedwagon and the cops, ready to arrest Dio. Dio stabs George, and, like we said earlier, the blood activates the mask, and then he uses it to become a vampire. The mansion gets set on fire. Jonathan uses that as an advantage to stop Dio's regenerative abilities, and bro gets impaled on a statue. One training montage later, Dio somehow got on the ship that Jonathan and Irina just got married on, which they're going to America for their honeymoon, and then he turns everybody on the ship into a vampire. Or a zombie, I'm not too sure. It's one of them. That's where Jonathan dies, and he just jacked his body. We skip to Stardust Crusaders. Dio's out here all the way in Egypt, in a mansion, sitting here reading books, and Dio's out here living his best life. But then, Joseph, Jotaro, and Kakyoin, they come in, they bust the wall open, which causes the sunlight to come in, and because he's a vampire, so he has to dip. So Kakyoin decides to use his Emerald Splash, and Dio just flicks that shit like it was nothing because, no one can just deflect the Emerald Splash. And then Dio said, alright, I had enough of this cat and mouse chase, and he throws the fucking senator at them. A whole nother human being, causing the car to crash. Kakyoin figures out that the world's ability is to stop time. Before he gets the chance to tell the others, he gets slimed out. Sadly. R.I.P. Kakyoin. And before his last breath, he sends a message to Joseph, hoping that he'll understand and tell Jotaro about it, destroying the clock as a sign.
Jotaro! 奴のスタンド、ザ・ワールドの正体は時間じゃ！時間を止めるスタンドなんザ・ワールド!
Joseph gets put out of commission for a little bit, but he comes back at the end, because Araki likes Joseph. Dio and Jotaro basically have a whole showdown. Then it seems like all hope is lost. Dio starts monologuing about how he's finally ended the Joestar bloodline until Jotaro stops time. Turns out that Star Platinum and the world are the exact same type of stand, so if the world can stop time, then Star Platinum can stop time. And so, Dio's all confused. He's like, what's going on? I thought I killed him. And basically, with a punch to the leg, shattering his entire body.
このディオが
That was the end of the deal, or so we thought, because even after death, he's still f***ing with their bloodline. Do you know how much of a hater you have to be to spread your hateocracy to other people to f*** with the same bloodline since the 1980s?